quick word from the Commander of Naval Service Training Command.
Good morning. I am Rear Admiral Craig Mattingly, Commander of Naval Service Training Command. Welcome to Naval Station Great Lakes, the quarterdeck of the Navy. What an exciting day. It is an honor to have you with us as we celebrate the graduation of our newest midshipman candidates from New Student Indoctrination, NSI. Thank you for playing a significant role in the lives of these young adults. Your support, your encouragement, and your love shaped each to choose to serve their country. As we will witness in just a few minutes, these young women and men have been the center of transformation that has taken place over the past several days. They endured rigorous physical and mental training, pushing their individual limits. Each learned the importance of teamwork, of discipline, of dedication. They have commenced the Navy journey and are now part of our time-honored tradition of service to our nation. Each of these midshipmen will play a critical role as the next generation of leaders fulfilling our Navy and Marine Corps mission. They will soon report to their college or university where training will continue. Each will grow, each will develop, each will learn, each will experience, each will transform into their best self to lead our future force. As we celebrate this graduation, let us remember the sacrifices that were made to get here. Let us honor the commitment and dedication of these new midshipmen and those who guided them. And let us look forward to the bright future that lies ahead, knowing that our nation is in great hands. What you are about to witness is special. What you are about to observe will move you. Why? Because your loved one has committed to their nation. Your loved one has chosen to protect and defend our values centered on freedom. I am proud to call each shipmate. So thank you. Thank you for playing a significant role in their lives. I warmly welcome you to our Navy family. Enjoy this ceremony and celebrate your midshipmen. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the arrival of the official party, the playing of the national anthem, and the invocation. Time orderly. Strike 4 bells. NROTC, University of New Mexico, arriving. Time orderly. Strike 6 bells. Naval Service Training Command, arriving. Time orderly. Strike 6 bells. Navy Reserve Forces Command, arriving. Color guard, parade the colors. Retire the colors. Chaplain Stillwater will now provide the invocation.
Let us pray. Source of commitment, source of pride, it's gratitude we give to you for bringing us together, not just one or two. Though not easy, you brought us here through candidate commitment, a moment so dear. No contact allowed for 3 weeks gone by. Plus ITE and classes, our brains are fried. But we are so grateful for those who lead and teach, their dedication clear, caring for people in reach. And now, together again with joy, friends are here and family, ahoy! Help us say welcome and express the love that candidates have been holding so close like a dove. But not candidates anymore, midshipmen now, going forth to lead boldly because they know how. Wherever they go in this world next, They can go there with pride, their abilities flexed. So it's gratitude we give to you for bringing us together, not just one or two. We pray this with thanksgiving and praise. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We begin our ceremony acknowledging the exemplary performance of our midshipman candidates and instructors. We are recognizing 3 individuals per division. The Midshipman Candidate Honor Graduate is awarded for achieving the highest cumulative score in performance events. The Midshipman Candidate Toughness Award recognizes the midshipman candidate who best displayed the characteristics of warrior toughness, to not give up and to persevere in the face of adversity. The Midshipman Instructor Award is presented to the instructor who epitomized and modeled the NSI Commander's intent of mentorship and leadership. The Midshipman Candidate Toughness Award and Midshipman Instructor Award were voted on by our midshipman instructors. Please hold your applause until the end.
Left, right, left. Hard, time, hard. Detail, hold. Right, hey. Present, hard. Morning, sir. Order, hard.
Alpha 1 Midshipman Candidate Honor Graduate, Midshipman Candidate Barkley. Alpha 1 Midshipman Candidate Toughness Award, Midshipman Candidate Brody. Alpha 1 Midshipman Instructor Award, Midshipman Bixley. Alpha 2 Midshipman Candidate Honor Graduate, Midshipman Candidate Deemers. Alpha 2 Midshipman Candidate Toughness Award, Midshipman Candidate Dembele. Alpha 2 Midshipman Instructor Award, Midshipman Halter. Bravo 1 Midshipman Candidate Honor Graduate, Midshipman Candidate Hendricks. Bravo 1 Midshipman Candidate Toughness Award, Midshipman Candidate Kettner. Bravo 1 Midshipman Instructor Award, Midshipman Strand. Bravo 2 Midshipman Candidate Honor Graduate, Midshipman Candidate Thompson. Bravo 2 Midshipman Instructor Award, Midshipman Wakefield Carl. Bravo 2 Midshipman Candidate Toughness Award, Midshipman Candidate Moore. Charlie 1 Midshipman Candidate Honor Graduate, Midshipman Candidate Schramm. Charlie 1 Midshipman Candidate Toughness Award, Midshipman Candidate Powell. Charlie 1 Midshipman Instructor Award, Midshipman Gore. Charlie 2 Midshipman Candidate Honor Graduate, Midshipman Candidate Ars. Charlie 2 Midshipman Candidate Toughness Award, Midshipman Candidate Hyde. Charlie 2 Midshipman Instructor Award, Midshipman Kiefer. Delta 1 Midshipman Candidate Honor Graduate, Midshipman Candidate Tapley. Delta 1 Midshipman Candidate Toughness Award, Midshipman Candidate Suarez. Delta 1 Midshipman Instructor Award, Midshipman Pond. Delta 2, Midshipman Candidate Honor Graduate, Midshipman Candidate Pease. Delta 2, Midshipman Candidate Toughness Award, Midshipman Candidate Mazai. Delta 2, Midshipman Instructor Award, Midshipman Miller. Please join me in a round of applause for these outstanding midshipmen. Ladies and gentlemen, new student indoctrination, Cycle 1, Officer in Charge, Captain Gary L. Cave.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is great to be able to share this day with so many family and friends. Thank you for being here to join in this important first step of the Navy or Marine Corps careers of the nearly 700 candidates standing before you. Our goal at New Student Indoctrination was to impart basic military training to the candidates, which included proper wear of the uniform, how to move smartly and set the example for those they will one day lead, the importance of working as a team, how to respond under pressure, and what it means to live by our service's core values. Further, your candidates began developing knowledge and skills related to the core competencies shared by all sailors and Marines through weapons familiarization, physical fitness, watch standing, water survival, firefighting, and basic seamanship. Over the past 2.5 weeks, they dipped their toes into the training that the 8,000 plus enlisted recruits on this base are experiencing over a period of 3 months to ready themselves for service as Navy sailors. Finally, my team worked to help each candidate find their identities as soon-to-be midshipmen and future naval officers who will be responsible for leading the sailors and Marines who complete basic training here at Great Lakes or pass through Parris Island on their way to the fleet. What they learned here is just the tip of the iceberg, but these lessons will underpin the next 4 years of training at their NROTC units as they work towards their commission on our sea services. To the soon-to-be midshipmen standing before me, the relevance of every lesson you learned here will not necessarily be immediately apparent, but each will serve you as well sometime in your journey. I want to congratulate each of you on a job well done. Your commitment, resilience, and determination are traits to be proud of and were inspirational to observe. You'll need these same traits to navigate your university education, the demands of your NROTC unit, and eventually the honor of leading other men and women who opt to serve our country and defend the freedoms that we hold dear. You are joining a team that wants to see you succeed. Over the next 4 years, you will likely struggle at some point. Do not forget that your team is there to help, be it a shipmate standing beside you today, one of your classmates, or a member of your NROTC staff. We'll support and guide you through those tough patches, just as you will be expected to lend a hand to your fellow midshipmen when they stumble. Our profession is a team sport, and only team players will succeed. I have faith in each of you and wish you well in your college experience and your path to leadership in our Navy and Marine Corps. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our guest of honor, Rear Admiral Michael Steffen, Commander Navy Reserve Forces Command. Admiral Steffen is a Virginia native and a proud graduate of Virginia Tech, where he earned his commission through their NROTC program. 2 years later, he earned his wings as a naval aviator. Following a number of sea and shore tours as a junior officer, Admiral Steffen commanded the Jaguars of Helicopter Anti-Submarine Squadron Light 60 in Jacksonville, Florida, the Maritime Support Wing in Coronado, California, and Naval Air Station Fort Worth Joint Reserve Base in Texas. Across his operational tours, he has flown over 125 missions in support of Iraqi Operation Iraqi Freedom and accumulated more than 3,000 flight hours. Following his first flag officer assignment as Commandant of Naval District Washington, Admiral Stephan assumed command of Navy Reserve Forces Command in July 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, Rear Admiral Michael Stephan.
All right, first thing we're going to do is let's put the midshipmen at ease. All right, everybody shake it out a little bit. I know it's been a long morning, and look up here. It's okay. The folks with the red ropes aren't going to give you a hard time if you look up here. All right, good morning, distinguished guests, family members and friends, shipmates, and most importantly, graduates of the Navy's new student indoctrination course. Thanks for the kind introduction to Captain Cave. And chaps, that was a pretty amazing prayer done in the Dr. Seuss kind of mold there. I thought that was pretty unique. Now, I understand the ceremony is supposed to be 30 minutes or less, which means I got 2.5 minutes. Normally I keep it short, but all these family and friends have traveled so far, I don't want to disappoint them, so I'm going to speak for about 10, 12 minutes, so relax and get comfortable. It's fantastic to be here, and with great pride that I stand before you today at Great Lakes, a place that has become synonymous with the development of the Navy's finest sailors. The hallowed grounds of Recruit Training Command have been the starting point for many distinguished careers, and it is here that you too have undergone the transformation from civilian to naval midshipman, ready to lead and serve our nation. As we gather, I'd like to recognize our distinguished guests. Obviously, we've got Rear Admiral Craig Mattingly here. We've got Rear Admiral John Sacabando. Good to see you. CMC Hotchgraver. Former Commodore at Wing 11, Captain Anthony Carapi, who also, I found out last night, is responsible for some of this training that we got here today. So, Ant, great job. And obviously, you can see the evolution thereof. And to we've got a lot of veterans and former service members here in the audience whose attendance is a testament to the generational commitment to the service that defines our nation. And to all the parents and close family members, a special thank you for raising such amazing young adults and strong leaders, instilling in them a foundational work ethic, and then entrusting them in our care in the U.S. Navy, where they will thrive and have an opportunity to lead the world's finest sailors. I'd also like to thank the training staff who helped mold these young men and women to prepare them for the success of the next journey. Thank you for your endless hours of patience and dedication in setting the foundation for our midshipmen to succeed. And hopefully you all didn't lose your voice while you were here. Standing here looking at the faces of this graduating class, I'm filled with a profound sense of optimism and inspiration. The new student indoctrination course you just completed is no easy feat. It has tested you mentally, physically, and morally, preparing you for the rigors of naval officer training. This program has evolved significantly since its inception years ago, and the military orientation that is the benchmark for setting your course for success. And it seems like just yesterday, I was in your shoes preparing to embark on my adventure of a lifetime. I finally remember my training at the Virginia Tech Corps Cadets, which I believe has many similarities to NSI, which was not yet in effect at my time. Now, before you go thinking I'm old, hey, I graduated college in the 90s, okay? And we did have computers back then, and in fact, I think at Virginia Tech we invented the internet, so. But back then, just like today, we started with the basics: early morning PT, late night watches, buzz haircuts, rush meals, stern drill instructors with keen eyesight that seemed to detect every flaw in your otherwise impeccable uniform. I had a specific Marine Corps staff sergeant. His name was Ane To. He's a Samoan recon Marine. His only English words were cuss words. He was terrifying. Set me well up for combat, though. But in fact, some things seem to never change when it comes to officer accession programs. So practicing my information warfare officer skills, I did some covert research to figure out what the midshipmen here actually thought of their training at Great Lakes. So I went to a super reliable source, Google Reviews. And here are some of the posts that I found that you all posted about your time here. One person recommended nice digs if you're looking for a temporary place. Just avoid the locals who can be identified by a red rope on their left shoulder. Hey, they have free food, free clothes, free haircuts, and fitness trainers. Avoid talking in the hallways and don't look anyone in the eye. It can be a rough neighborhood sometimes, but if you keep your nose clean, you'll be fine. Would give 5 stars, but got yelled at for various indiscretions to include not walking, talking, or dressing properly. Accommodations were clean, but lacked meaningful decoration. And I noted one more review that really caught my eye. This place is older than Moses, but full of young people who are learning to march and maintain their bearing. But if you had the privilege of staying here, you realize you're not here to be served, but to learn how to serve. And I'm going to dwell on that last comment for a minute because it's incredibly insightful, wise, and in contrast to the humor that preceded it. It's precisely why you joined the Navy, not to serve, but to learn how to serve. Service to our nation is a notable calling, one that you have answered with courage and commitment. And the uniform you wear is not just fabric and thread, it is the tapestry of our nation's history and sacrifices of those that come before us. You are now part of a storied tradition, guardians of our freedom and defenders of the Constitution of the United States. As you embark upon your journey as a naval officer, you're going to embark upon uncharted waters, both literally and metaphorically. Remember these tough experiences as you will grow as leaders and individuals, and I offer 3 pieces of advice to get you through these challenges. And this is specifically for the midshipmen. Number 1, set your life goal and use it as your North Star to guide you. If you want to be a Joint Strike Fighter pilot, a destroyer captain, a submarine officer, a SEAL, print out a picture and tack it to your mirror. Set it as the wallpaper of your laptop or iPhone, and then make every day a step closer to achieving that goal. College and life are full of distractions. Use your North Star to guide you through those distractions. Your friends want to party, but you need to study for your engineering exam? Take a look at that picture and then put your nose back in the books. You want to get outstanding on the PRT so you can be a SEAL? Look at that motivational picture, put down those snacks, and go run 3 miles. It's up to you and the choices you make, and every day is full of choices. And over time, they stack up and become real progress to your goal and your dream. That brings me to point number 2, teamwork. The Navy is the ultimate team sport. You need to be the best you can at your chosen task and profession, but you can get nowhere alone. This started at NSI and will continue for the rest of your life. Surround yourself with people who support you and support the people that surround you. You see a shipmate stumble, pick them up. You see a shipmate struggling academically, be their tutor. You see a shipmate with an amazing idea, be the first person to recognize their genius. The goodness that comes out of this will come back to you tenfold. And what do I know about teamwork? Well, I've done 4 combat tours in Iraq, flying special operations missions. At one time, I was one of the best helicopter pilots in the Navy. At least that's what I told myself every morning when I look in the mirror. But I was never perfect. And with my squadron teammates, which included our enlisted air crewmen and maintenance personnel, we were a fantastic team, a force to be reckoned with, and it showed in our perfect combat record of not losing one person in 7 years and thousands of combat missions. And when one of us screwed up, we owned it. We debriefed it after our flight, we learned from it, and then we pressed on to fight another day. But we did it as a team, unselfish, transparent, and with a true love and respect for one another. And you want to know about real teamwork? You can ask this gentleman up here, Admiral Sacramento, who used to be part of the Blue Angels, talk about teamwork. And there's lots of stories in the veterans that are behind me of that same teamwork. And I learned this when I built up through my time through the Corps Cadets, through flight school, my first squadron, and it even continues today as a lifelong learner. During your time at NSI, you've learned firsthand the power of teamwork, and you've had to rely on your fellow midshipman candidates, pushing each other to new limits, overcoming challenges, together through open communication and unwavering support. And that brings me to my final piece of advice. It's okay to fail. You will fail. It's part of learning. Maybe it's a struggle academically, maybe it's in flight school or nuke school. Maybe you have personal struggles, but because you fail in the short term does not mean you failed in the long game. It's how we learn. And I worry these days our egos are so fragile that we don't understand that it's okay to get knocked down, but you get back up, dust yourself off, try again, ask for help, get a tutor, practice more. Perseverance will win the day. If I had a nickel for everyone who told me I'd never be a naval aviator, I'd be rich. Do what I did and prove them wrong. Another aspect of failure is understanding your adventure might not end up where you thought it would. I was convinced I'd be an F-18 pilot. I did extremely well in flight school, but the Navy needed helicopter pilots at the time. So after crying in my beer for a day, I picked myself up and decided to be the best helicopter pilot in the Navy. And it happened. And again, at least that's what I told myself every day. So what will be your journey? What will be your story? How will you react when things don't work out? It's up for you to decide and your teammates to help you navigate the adventure. And equally important is networking, keeping in touch with the shipmates you've met here at NSI. The Navy's a tight-knit community, and the connections you make today at your universities will serve you well throughout your career. To this day, I still keep in touch with other midshipmen that I met on my first-class cruise way back in the day. So find the people that help you, show respect to everyone, and never be afraid to take calculated risks. The Navy needs you to do this. Take a look at the news, and I think you can see why it's so important. A resurgent and aggressive Russia at war with Ukraine, a Chinese regime which is challenging the international rules-based order, and the Israel-Hamas conflict that has led to a precarious regional security environment. And although we remain optimistic that there will be diplomatic solutions to address these challenges, we have to be ready on day one if called into harm's way. You are the embodiment and hope and promise of our nation, ready to lead with honor, courage, and commitment. As you stand on the cusp of this new adventure, know that you carry with you the trust and high expectations of those who've served before you and the aspirations to those who follow. Congratulations for graduating this important first step at NSI. May your careers be as inspiring and limitless as the promise I see before me today. Godspeed on your journey, and may fair winds and following seas accompany you always. God bless you, God bless our Navy, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you. Midshipman candidates, are you ready to commence your journey to forge your future and join the world's best and most powerful Navy? I am ready for you to join me in ranks. I will now administer the oath. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. Having been appointed a midshipman in the United States Navy, I solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations.
Families, feel free to congratulate and take photos with your midshipmen from now until 10:15. After which, we ask you to depart without your graduate, as they will be participating in our final accountability check and transportation. Families who drop their midshipmen off, we ask you to meet them at Berkey Mall. For candidates who flew in, we ask you to meet them at the airport. Thank you.
Right.